moving to Foxborough.
Okay.
The New England Patriots.
Oh, boy.
The New England Patriots. So you give them a C- for their draft?
I don't love anything they did, if I'm being really honest.
Really?
I don't love anything they did.
Okay. It's all just average.
Mac Jones is as average of a quarterback. If you looked up average quarterback in the dictionary, it would be Mac Jones. It would be a picture of him smoking a heater next to Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts.
Right.
And you're going to get dinged for that. That's a full letter grade by itself. Oh, he came to us. Yeah, now you're tied to him. Mm-hmm. You're now tied to Mac Jones, who's a guy that we routinely said during the season, yeah, he could be a second or third round pick as a guy that's going to be a backup spot starter in the NFL. Well, that's your guy now. So now you're tied to – you now have the worst quarterback situation in the NFL, in my opinion. Name me a team that has a worse quarterback room right now than the New England Patriots.
The Denver Broncos.
I would take Teddy over
I would take Teddy Bridgewater over all four quarterbacks, whether it's Drew Lock or the two New England guys. Yeah. Teddy Bridgewater's the best of the four. Now, Drew Lock's the worst of the four.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I would still take Teddy Bridgewater's not going to beat me.
Yeah.
And I look at New England and I just go, I feel like Bill's going all in for one last push.
Yep.
The problem is that you've never been bad enough to wind up with the quarterback. Uh-huh. And so I look at the defense. The defense is going to be good. You know, the Barmore pick, I like Christian Barmore. I do not love him in this scheme. I understand they're multiple front and all this other shit. It's still a 3-4 team. He doesn't fit anywhere in a 3-4 at all. And you traded up to get him. Mm-hmm. Barmore's a guy I would love with the Browns. I would love him with, and now there's maturity issues. There's all kinds of things. I like that part of New England. That's the reason I didn't ding them too hard for this pick, because I think their system can make Christian Barmore. I think that if there are maturity issues and there's work ethic issues, Bill Belichick can get the most out of him. I don't think that's even debatable. I just don't understand how he fits in the scheme.
Yeah. You don't think
he's not a nose tackle?
You don't
under
think
any circumstances.
But you don't think he's quick enough, agile enough to play on the outside of the 3-4 front line?
I just don't think that's what he does. Where he made his hay was working over guards and working over centers. Mm-hmm. And now you're not going to be doing that. Is he fast enough to work the interior between a tackle and a maybe? But I don't know. I see him and Judon on the same side as two guys that have talent, but I think there's going to be excised expectations.
That was their the Christian Barmore was their best pick. The riskiest pick, obviously, being Mac Jones. Although I don't ding them because they didn't have to do anything to get the quarterback.
No, and
they wanted to get one of the five.
Thing that I'm saying.
They stayed at 15.
Yeah.
They got Mac Jones. I think while he's not the quarterback that I would want of the future for my franchise, the fact that I didn't have to give anything up to get him is a win.
I think the Mac Jones pick is one of those picks where the immediate grade, when you look at it, it's going to be on the lower hand side. But in 3 years, if they find a way to win some games with him, when we regrade these guys in 3 years, there's a chance that he could actually be, let's just say, for example, and I don't think they're making the playoffs next year, but maybe the year after, right, with all these picks and all these guys that they're making. If New England ends up finding a way to get into the playoffs with Mac Jones at quarterback, I think that would raise this draft grade a little bit. I also love the Ronnie Perkins draft pick.
Ronnie Perkins is actually probably the best draft pick.
Yeah. And then Ramondre Stevenson, we talked a lot about him pre-draft just being a gigantic human being. I think this kind of, gives them a guy at the, that you don't have to. Let's say they're Cam's not running the ball into the end zone every time.
Right.
We got a guy that can get in there, and like we said during the draft, he's going to be a guy that week 7, the rotating running back situation, ends up with 2 touchdowns and 100 yards, and then he doesn't do anything the rest of the year.
Here's the net to me on New England. Is there any doubt they have so there's 4 young quarterbacks in the AFC East. They have the worst one.
No doubt.
Not debatable.
Yeah, not even close.
They have the one, without a doubt, with the lowest ceiling. And I look at the receiving core. I mean, defensively, they're going to win games.
Yep.
There's no doubt. This defense is going to be markedly better.
Yep.
You've got the oldest coach by a lot. Mm-hmm. Bill Belichick's 20 years older than every coach in this division. You have the oldest way of thinking, and it's the Patriot way. I think that was made by Brady. Well, Mac Jones is not Tom Brady, no matter how many ways you want to try to slice this. He's not. So I look at this and go, I think 2 years from now, the New England Patriots are the worst team in this division. I don't know how you're going to get out of it.
Yep. The New England Patriots finished off last season 7-9 in the overall in the NFL, and I would not be surprised to see them as the worst team in this division this year. Although I still think 7, 8, maybe 9 wins.
7 and 10, 8-9 is what I see New England does. And I don't see it. I don't see anything that's going to change that.
Agreed. The